The sky above the human colony shimmered with streaks of alien light as the warships descended. The alien princess Leora stood on the bridge of her flagship, her eyes scanning the sprawling settlements below. Every structure glinted in the faint reflection of the planet's sun, but she saw them as nothing more than targets. Her fleet had come to subdue these humans, to prove that their species would bow to the might of her empire. She had been trained for this moment her entire life, groomed to lead her people to victory. Leora's reputation preceded her. Tales of her skill in combat, her strategic genius, and her unwavering resolve had reached countless worlds. Yet the humans had no reason to fear stories. To them, she would be the embodiment of an enemy they had never faced, a warrior from the stars whose very presence was a threat. Leora inhaled sharply, a mix of anticipation and tension coursing through her. Today, she would carve her name into history. As the first wave of her troops descended, the humans retaliated swiftly. The sky erupted in a chaotic dance of lasers and explosions. Leora directed her squadron with precision, striking at key positions, dismantling defenses, and leaving a trail of devastation. Yet, amid the chaos, she noticed something unusual. A small human unit, far from the main battleground, was moving with an uncanny awareness, dodging attacks that should have been unavoidable. Their leader, a human named Rylan, maneuvered his team as if anticipating every strike, protecting civilians and coordinating counterattacks. Curiosity prickled Leora's mind. Few beings possessed such instinctive combat intuition. Her pride urged her to dismiss it as luck, yet she could not ignore the efficiency with which this unit operated. She decided to witness it firsthand. Descending in her personal combat pod, Leora approached the human position. The ground shook beneath her as she landed, drawing immediate attention from Rylan and his team. He raised his rifle, his expression resolute yet calm. "You should leave," he said, his voice steady. Even under the alien sky illuminated by her fleet's bombardments. "I am not here to talk," Leora replied, her tone commanding, almost regal. "I am here to end this conflict." Rylan's gaze did not waver. "You may think this is your victory, but we will not surrender. We protect our people." Leora's respect for the human grew. Few beings, even among her kind, would speak so boldly in the face of annihilation. She raised her weapon, aiming directly at him, yet she hesitated for a fraction of a second. That fraction changed everything. A sudden explosion rocked the battlefield. Debris flew toward her position. Leora tried to evade, but the blast was too close, and she was thrown to the ground, disoriented. Pain flared in her side, and the edges of her vision blurred. She realized, with growing alarm, that she had underestimated the human forces, and perhaps underestimated Rylan. Before she could recover, Rylan was there, his hand gripping her arm with a strength she had not anticipated. With an agility that defied belief, he pulled her from the path of falling debris, shielding her with his own body. The moment lasted only seconds, yet for Leora, it was eternal. She looked into his eyes, seeing determination, courage, and a humanity that no weapon or strategy could ever destroy. "You are alive because of me," he said, almost casually, yet there was a weight to his words that struck her deeply. Leora's voice faltered. She was not accustomed to weakness, to vulnerability, especially in front of another being. Yet here she was, saved by a human, someone she had come to conquer. Rylan pulled back, giving her space. "You can fight, but don't mistake bravery for invincibility." The alien princess's mind raced. She had faced countless warriors, many stronger than her, yet none had acted like this. He did not strike for personal glory or fear. He acted out of principle, out of protection for others. And in that moment, Leora realized something profound. The humans she had come to destroy were capable of something far greater than she had imagined. as the battle raged around them. Liara and Rylan found themselves forced into a temporary truce, driven by necessity. Alien forces pressed from one side, human defenders countered from the other, and both realized that survival required cooperation, however brief. They moved together through crumbling streets, dodging fire and debris, their differences temporarily set aside. During one brief pause, Liara looked at Rylan and asked, "Why risk your life for me? You don't even know me." Rylan's expression was calm, yet his eyes held a quiet fire. "Because someone has to save lives, no matter who they belong to. That is what makes us human. That is why we survive." Liara felt a stir within her that she could not name. It was alien to her, this respect for a being she had intended to kill. She had been trained to lead through dominance and fear, yet here she stood, alive because of compassion and courage. And for the first time in her life, she questioned the narrative she had been taught. The battle intensified. Liara and Rylan were forced to fight side by side, each covering the other in moments of peril. Alien soldiers lunged at them, their movements precise, yet neither Liara nor Rylan faltered. She marveled at his instinct, his ability to read the battlefield, and his unyielding resolve. Every encounter with him challenged her assumptions. Every narrow escape from death, a testament to human ingenuity. As the day wore on, the tide of battle shifted. Human reinforcements arrived, their strategy coordinated, their morale bolstered by the unexpected leadership of Rylan. Liara watched as humans turned the tide, not with overwhelming force, but with relentless determination and clever tactics. Her heart, once hardened by duty and conquest, began to shift. She saw bravery she could not match, a kind of strength that did not come from superior weaponry or experience, but from the unbreakable will to survive and protect. During a lull in the fighting, Liara and Rylan found themselves trapped in a ruined building. Dust and smoke filled the air. The sounds of distant explosions vibrated through the walls. She looked at him, her mind racing with conflicting emotions. "You are unlike anyone I have ever faced," she admitted, her voice softer than before. Rylan shrugged, a small, almost humble gesture. "We are just people trying to live. That's all." For a moment, silence enveloped them, broken only by the distant echoes of conflict. Liara realized that in Rylan, she had encountered a type of heroism that transcended her understanding. It was not about victory or power. It was about choice, about protecting life even at great personal risk. She had come to conquer, to assert dominance. Yet here, she was learning humility and respect from the very species she had underestimated. Their truce became an unspoken bond. Liara found herself fighting not just beside him, but inspired by his resolve. Where she had once seen humans as obstacles, she now saw them as worthy adversaries, and perhaps even equals. And through every confrontation, every shared moment of danger, she began to see a path beyond conquest, a possibility of coexistence she had never allowed herself to imagine. The final confrontation came as her fleet attempted to press a full assault. Alien forces surged forward, seeking to overwhelm the humans. Liara and Rylan, side by side, orchestrated a defense that stunned both allies and enemies. They moved in sync, each anticipating the other's actions, each countering the threats with precision and courage. In the climactic moment, Liara was struck again, this time by a powerful energy blast. Pain seared through her, and the ground beneath her cracked. She fell, unable to rise. Rylan dashed to her side, lifting her once more, his own strength straining against the weight and chaos surrounding them. "You will not fall today," he said, his voice resolute, eyes blazing with determination. For the first time, Liara did not argue, did not resist. She allowed herself to trust him completely, feeling a sense of gratitude she had never experienced. In that moment, She realized that the greatest strength of humans was not their technology, not their numbers, but their courage and compassion. It was a power that even her empire could not comprehend fully, a strength that could inspire loyalty, unity, and hope. When the alien fleet finally retreated, Liara stood among the survivors, looking at Rylan with new understanding. She had come to destroy humans, yet she found herself transformed by their resilience and spirit. She saw potential for peace where she had seen only conflict, and respect where she had seen only inferiority. "You saved me," she said quietly, her voice filled with sincerity. I underestimated your people." Rylan nodded. "And I underestimated you. You could have destroyed us, yet you chose to see us. That is what matters." For Leora, the battle had ended, but a new journey had begun. She had witnessed the bravery of humans firsthand, and it had changed her forever. No longer would she see them merely as subjects to conquer. Instead, she would remember the courage of one human who risked everything to save another. And through that act, she glimpsed the true meaning of strength, honor, and the potential for a future where two worlds could coexist. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and violet, Liara and Rylan stood side by side, surveying the battlefield. The war had ended, yet its lessons lingered. The alien princess had arrived to conquer, only to find herself humbled, inspired, and awakened by the unyielding spirit of humanity. And in that realization, she discovered something far more powerful than any weapon: the human heart.